Hi students, today we are going to look at a lesson called In the Kingdom of Fools, written by Atipet Krishnaswamy Ramanujan, known as A.K. Ramanujan, who was born in India, was an Indian poet and scholar of Indian literature who wrote in both English and Kannada. Ramanujan was a poet, scholar, folklorist, translator, and playwright. He was awarded with the Sahitya Akademi Award and Padma Shri. What is the theme of the lesson in the Kingdom of Fools? It is believed that a fool is more dangerous than a cruel person. His foolishness can bring about major calamities, major destruction. This story is based on the theme that it requires patience and wisdom to handle people who choose to be foolish. So, the whole summary of the lesson is a guru and his disciple. Disciple is a follower. Visit a kingdom. They are surprised to find that the whole kingdom was asleep during the day. They understand that the people were following the instruction of the king. The guru, being a wise man, decides to leave the place as he realizes the danger of staying in the kingdom of fools. The guru leaves the city, but the disciple stays behind to eat and to be happy, merry. A very unfortunate incident happens in the kingdom. In the process of awarding justice to the victim, the king commits one foolish act after another and ultimately succumbs to the wisdom of the guru, who returns to save the life of his disciple. The foolish king and his minister fall into the trap set by the guru. Eventually, the guru and his disciple take over as the king and minister and restore normally in the kingdom. However, it should be. Let us go in detail into the lesson. In the Kingdom of Fools. Okay, the title itself is given here. In the Kingdom of Fools, both the king and the minister were idiots. Idiots means foolish. They didn't want to run things like other kings. So they decided to change night into day and day into night. So whatever they do during the day, they shifted that into night. Whatever they used to do during the night, they shifted that into day, which means they slept throughout the day and worked at night. They ordered that everyone should be awake at night, till their fields and run their business. Till their fields means plow their fields. They used to work in farms and run their business. They used to open the shops and so on only after dark, and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. Anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death. Look at this sentence as well. Punishment. One who did not follow the rules of the king would be put to death. The people did as they were told for fear of death. Since people were frightened by the punishment, so they did what the king ordered them to do. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of their project. One day a guru and his disciple arrived in the city, in the kingdom of fools. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight during the day they arrived, but there was no one about. There was no one around. Everyone was asleep. Not a mouse stirring. Not a mouse, not a rat was moving around. Stirring means in motion, in movement. Even the cattle had been taught to sleep by day. Look at this. Cattle, cows, and cattle were taught to sleep during the day. The two strangers, who are they? The guru and the disciple, were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around the town till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its nightly business. Nightly business means they just went for their work at night. The two men were hungry. Now that the shops were open at night, they went to buy some groceries. Groceries, items of food sold in a grocery or a supermarket. Okay. To their astonishment, to their surprise, they found that everything cost the same, a single duddu. Duddu is a Kannada word which means money or coin. Whether they bought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, everything cost the same. It cost as duddu, a coin. The Guru and his disciple were delighted. They were happy. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. When they had cooked and eaten, the Guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. This is no place for us. Let us go. Who said this? The Guru said to his disciple, this is not the place where we have to stay or live. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Why? Everything was cheap there. So he wanted to eat and be happy, to enjoy in the place. So he did not want to leave the place. And all he wanted was good, cheap food. The Guru said, what the Guru said? They are all fools. This won't last very long. This will not remain for a long time. They are all fools, and you can't tell what they'll do to you next. You can't judge or you can't predict what fools would do next. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the Guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay. Guru finally gave up and said, do what you wanted to. Do what you want to. Whatever you want, you can do. I am going. And then he left. The Guru left the place, leaving the disciple behind. The disciple stayed on, ate his fill every day. What all he ate? Bananas and ghee and rice and wheat, and grew fat like a street side sacred bull. It is a simile used like a street side sacred bull. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. One bright day, look at this, during the day, while everybody was asleep, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked, means entered in, and he was carrying out his loot. He was trying to loot or steal. The wall of the old house collapsed. The house was old, so the wall also must have been old, and it collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. On the spot, he died. The thief died. His brother, ran to the king and complained, Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, look at that. So the entire family was doing that, his ancestors and everybody. So he was pursuing his ancient trade. A wall fell on him and killed him. This merchant is to blame. He should have built a good, strong wall. Look at the people and the king and the ministers who are called fools. Okay, look at the accusation as well. The accusation, the blame goes on the merchant, one who has not built a good wall, strong wall. You must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family. Compensate means pay something as reward or something for the loss of the life, the family for the injustice. Look at the complaint. The king said, Justice will be done. Stealing is not a bad thing there anyway, but for the accusation, the king says, Justice will be done. Don't worry, and at once summoned the owner of the house. Summoned means ordered to be present, to appear there. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, What's your name? Such and such, your highness. Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house? Yes, my lord, the owner of the house said. He broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him. The accused pleads guilty. Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you. The king says, and the merchant replies, Lord, said the helpless merchant, I didn't put up the wall. It is really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him, not me. Who is that? The king asks. My lord, this wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby. The king sent out messengers to bring in the bricklayer, one who built the wall, who had built the wall. They brought him, tied hand and foot. They carried and brought him there. You there? Did you build this man's wall in his father's time? Yes, my lord, I did. What kind of a wall is this that you built? It has fallen on a poor man and killed him. You murdered him. You have to punish. We have to punish you by death. Look at that. The king calls the burglar a poor man. This is what a foolish king judges. I hope until this it is clear for you, and the rest can be seen in our next class. If you have any doubt until this, you can ask me in the class. Thank you.